Guilty until proven innocent. That is usually how accusations go. Life-altering accusations are, well, life-altering. A single accusation could land you in jail, ruin your reputation, destroy your livelihood, and many more negative things. This is why they are accusations, not always fact, and why you always have to listen to both sides to get the big picture of what actually happened. Sadly, the world is not perfect, and the internet always seems to choose the opposite, guilty until proven innocent. How many times has a person online been outwardly harassed the second literally anything negative comes out about them? I know it's a lot. Probably enough that if I had a nickel every time it happened, I would have enough to retire. Point is, neutrality is extremely important. It allows you to get the facts without coming to conclusions too quickly and having a chance of supporting the wrong side. I think one of the best examples in recent history is what happened with Ren and Zeal. For those of you who don't know, which I don't know who wouldn't know at this point, Roblox's internet was like exploded for months because of this. Zeal is the owner of Pressure, and a few months ago he had accusations against him from a person named Ren. I know I'm late to the party, but I didn't really want to touch this with a 10-foot pole until I learned as much as I possibly could about the whole thing. Thanks to Zombie and Chicken Gamer for your videos on it. Low-key, I wouldn't have learned much without you guys, because I'm sure as hell not trusting Guamgo with information, or myself, because I have been known to not read things very well. Anyway, Ren had accused Zeal with quite possibly one of the worst crimes you could possibly commit. To assault someone in such a scarring way is, well, again, one of the worst crimes you could possibly commit. And pretty much immediately, the entire internet, or at least a large majority, was on Ren's side. People boycotted the game, got doxxed for willing just to hear Zeal out, and a lot of other things. It wasn't pretty. I was there. I was watching the Twitter arguments. Video after video came out coming to Ren's defense. A few probably just looking for clout or to get their bag, but nonetheless the outcome was the same. Pressure piled onto Zeal before he ever could make his response. These videos have hundreds of thousands of views, probably into the million if I were to take all of them and put their views together. That's a lot of people, and a lot of people not on your side before you had a chance to make your case and defend yourself doesn't scream fair to me. Given what I've seen recently about, like, Ren lying, you know, the documents, holes in statements, witness testimonies from reputable sources, and other things, it's very much so possible and even likely that Ren wasn't entirely truthful in their document for whatever reason. I don't know what reason they would have, but it's possible and even likely at this point, which is where the neutrality comes in. Neutrality isn't exactly being complacent. Not at first. Waiting for testimony of the other party involved is, well, it's needed. Because without it, then you're left with a story that is written by one party and able to be conformed to whatever narrative they want to drive. And of course, this can lead to some very real consequences, i.e. ruining someone's life for little reason, taking away their livelihood, reputational losses, and some other very real, very serious consequences. After all, Zeal tried to end it all, as far as I know anyway, because of the backlash he was getting from thousands of people before he was able to speak his side and make his case. Honestly, if it wasn't for Zombie and Chicken pointing out many flaws within the narrative Ren spun, they might have gotten away with it, and that's scary, and it makes you wonder how many people weren't so lucky. Because not only does this make other people and other victims less believed, even if they were actually abused in such a way, this also lets actual abusers get away with little to no consequence. It undermines what they say because someone else lied, so it makes the rest a lot harder to trust. Trust me, I would know. Now, it can't be one of these videos without me taking a shot at drama slop channels. I've done it like 3 videos now, so you know, I'ma just do it. These were probably one of the biggest wheels in the machine, where they were so fast and so eager to get on the new drama that they just didn't wait for Zeal's testimony and automatically painted him as the bad guy. And you know what? You can get your bag. I don't care about that. You gotta make money, you gotta feed yourself, all that, whatever. I don't care about people making money. I care that people are so willing to make money that they don't wait long enough for the other party to make their document and their defense, whatever, and automatically paint someone in a bad light. Because, again, I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this. If you are in a position of power and a news source, then you have to act like the news source for people who may not be able to research themselves, or too lazy to, etc., etc. To talk about something too early is to doom the narrative to be factually incorrect, or at the very least leave out a lot of potentially useful or very crucial information. Again, this is why I didn't cover it myself, simply because I just didn't know enough. And when things started to get thick and like plot twist after plot twist, zombie reading every document probably enough times to have them memorized, I started to realize how fast people can turn on someone. As far as I know, Zeal wasn't exactly problematic before. He had a loyal following with his game and everything was fine. But the second someone spoke out against him, suddenly he was the bad guy. And of course, I know the accusations were serious. I'm not saying that they weren't. And there was some things in Ren's document that looked really bad. And with how heinous the accusations are, they might have appealed to a lot of people's humanity. And I get that, right? I get that. I absolutely 100% get that you see something bad and you automatically sympathize with the person that was saying the thing. And that is what people can weaponize and have weaponized in the past. Because you see someone say, oh yeah, this guy took advantage of me. And your first instinct is to say, oh, that guy is bad, without ever hearing what he has to say. But things can look bad without them being concrete proof. For example, if you watch me put this into my milk, out of context, it might look like I'm poisoning myself, but in reality, that was just a Tylenol. And I've ruined my milk now. I was enjoying that, but it was important to make the point. The things I do for content. I'm gonna need more milk soon. The point is, don't believe everything you see on the internet. I thought that was just common sense, honestly, but apparently common sense isn't so common anymore. And that's my bad for assuming that. Always remember that there are two sides to every story, and not everything will be as cut and dry as you might think, because sadly, the world is not black and white. There almost never will there be someone who is completely evil and completely good in a story. That's just not how the world works. There could be misunderstanding, miscommunication, just someone looking to make a quick buck. It could be a lot of different reasons or a lot of different ways that someone might have interpreted something as something else without it, being that thing. Which again is frustrating, but that's why you have to wait for both sides before you make your final judgment. And that's the moral of the story. Don't always believe everything you see, and if you are going to believe something, at least wait until someone else makes their side known before you decide on who you want to believe. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to drag this out much longer, but next time something like this happens, please do your own research, or at least wait until someone else does the research of both sides before coming to your conclusion and harassing said person. Because if you harass said person, then that person might not be as lucky as Zeal was and might actually succeed in their attempt to end their own life.